Natural Resources in brackets Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bills number 6 of 2022 be now read a second time. Madam Speaker, Kenya fought for independence. In 1952, a state of emergency was declared for this country. People died, Madam Speaker. Over 20,000 people died fighting for the land that was the Kenya's people's land. At that time, Madam Speaker, we were under the colonial rule. The colonists had taken away our land, and our people, Madam Speaker, joined up to fight for their land. Madam Speaker, 21st October 1956, Field Marshal General Dedan Kimathi was captured. And Madam Speaker, the picture of Kimathi still mesmerizes me. The man fought for what he believed in, the land, the resource of our people. And he died a very proud man, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if you fast forward to a few years where we are living now, Madam Speaker, natural resources that we fought for in this country was not only the land that was there. Natural resources that we fought for in this country, for which our forefathers laid their lives for, was not only dealing with the land as we know it, but it dealt with the resources, both extractive resources and non-extractive resources. Madam Speaker, this bill is talking about the second fight for the resources, the richness of our land, to go back to our people, Madam Speaker. Our people have suffered severely because there have extraction from their land and they benefit nothing. This bill, Madam Speaker, is talking about benefit sharing. What the resources are found in counties like Tana River, in counties like Turkana, in any other part of this country, Madam Speaker. We're talking about benefit sharing of those resources so that the communities that are living within those counties can benefit. They can realize the second fight for the independence and the resources of their land. Madam Speaker, this bill provides for a way in which we can enforce a system of sharing the natural resources that are found within the area. Madam Speaker, there are benefits which come from the exploitation of these natural resources. We are proposing in this bill for the first time that we should have the national government have its fair share, the county government have its fair share, the natural exploiters, natural resource exploiters, those who have come to invest and get the money out of it, they should have their fair share. But also the local communities should have their fair share. This is the main purpose of this bill. Madam Speaker, where I come from in Tana River County, there is gypsum that is exploited there. The natural resource exploiters who come there, Madam Speaker, they benefit nothing at all to the county government of Tana River. They benefit nothing at all to the local community in Bura constituency, where that gypsum is found. In fact, Madam Speaker, I would dare say that the national government also gets almost nil in terms of revenues. The only people who are benefiting from this resource are not the government, not the county government, not the local community, but the natural resource exploiters who come to Tana River County. They pay almost nothing, and they leave us with gaping holes everywhere in that part of Bura constituency in Tana River County. Madam Speaker, this bill intends to correct the wrongs, intends to bring the benefits of those resources that are found, not only in Tana River County, Madam Speaker, but in every other county, Madam Speaker, so that we can all benefit from the natural resources that are found within our areas. Madam Speaker, this bill has defined natural resources to cover not just the extractives, because people, when they hear about natural resources, they are thinking about the oil that might be found, they're thinking about the gems that might be found, they're thinking about the stuff that is inside. But Madam Speaker, when you think about it, this bill has classified, light as a natural resource. So when people come and they put up this light they get from the electricity they get from the sunlight, they put all those big things and they tap that electricity and they sell it to the national grid and they get a lot of money. What do the people of that county get, Madam Speaker? It is their natural resource. Madam Speaker, we are proposing through this bill 60% goes to the national government, 40% goes to the county government. And Madam Speaker, that 40% that goes to the county government is divided into two. 60%, they remain with it. 40% goes to the local community, Madam Speaker. So that if a levy is introduced for tapping that electricity, then if that levy raises 1 million shillings, 600,000 goes to the national government, 400,000 goes to the county government. Of that 400,000, it's divided into two portions. 40% goes to the local community where the tapping of that electricity is done, and 60% remains for the county government to do development for the entire place. Madam Speaker, this bill is not talking about theory, Madam Speaker. Right now, Kwale County, where base titanium is mining, the royalties that have been surrendered to the Treasury, Madam Speaker, are 3 billion shillings the last time that they did. The agreements that were there with the local community is that the local community was only going to get 10%, which is 300 million. But this 300 million lying at the Treasury, there is no mechanism for it to come out for the local community to gain. So that money is still just lying there. Base Titanium has done its bid by surrendering the money there, but there is no legal framework, Madam Speaker, that has been set out for the money to leave Treasury to reach the local communities. This bill, Madam Speaker, will go to solve and unlock the problem that is there. Madam Speaker, that is the natural resource that comes under. Those are the extractives. But Madam Speaker, I was just setting out. I spoke about light. I've mentioned about titanium. I've mentioned about gypsum. Madam Speaker, I want you to remember what is called Project Oil, Kenya. These are the joint partners of Talo, Africa, and Total Energies. Those three people who are mining up there in Turkana. Madam Speaker, when they hear Project Oil Kenya, when you hear Talo, when you hear Total Energies, everyone is thinking about the oil that will be extracted. But did you know, Madam Speaker, that they have stated that in the initial 5 years of production, they need to stimulate the pressure so that oil can come out. Madam Speaker, when you are exploiting oil, you have two wells. There is the well that you dig and you get the oil, and there is the other well, the second well, that pushes water so that the pressure, the natural pressure is increased and the oil is able to be extracted easily. Madam Speaker, for the first 5 years of having the injection well, this one that now pushes water, as opposed to this one of the production well, Madam Speaker, 330,000 barrels of water per day will be required. I'm talking about the resource called natural water now. 330,000 barrels of water. 1 barrel of water, Madam Speaker, is 163 liters. So, Madam Speaker, Talo, Africa, and Total Energy, the Project Oil Kenya, they will be needing 53 million liters of water per day for 5 years so that they can exploit that oil. That water, Madam Speaker, is coming from that county. That water, Madam Speaker, is being taken from, it's a resource that is being taken from that county, from that area. The people who live there, Madam Speaker, they were using that water. There's a whole biodiverse economic system, ecosystem, that exists there, Madam Speaker. And that ecosystem is going to suffer. Who is going to compensate the people of Turkana for the water? We are not talking about the oil, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, this bill is saying, let us look at the sharing of benefits between the natural resource exploiters, the owners of those, that is the local communities, the county governments, and the national government. Madam Speaker, this is a very important bill. Madam Speaker, you know, when these oil companies come to mine in an area that has been found with oil, they do what is called a signature bonus. That is like a commitment signature when they start to sign, and they pay as much as $100 million. Madam Speaker, that's a lot of Kenya shillings. Those are billions of Kenya shillings. Madam Speaker, these are the kinds of monies that must go towards compensating resources like water that is found there. Even before they start the actual extraction of the mine, Madam Speaker, we have to start giving the people of Kenya, not just in Tana River County, not just in other places, but we are saying, Madam Speaker, the places where the natural resource is found, when the natural resource exploiters come to invest, they must, Madam Speaker, pay something to the communities that are there. Madam Speaker, this bill is one of those bills that is coming to change the way Kenya has been operating. Madam Speaker, Lake Bogoria, which is a natural resource. Did you know, Madam Speaker, that there are